imagined coming to China. I imagined that I would not be able to communicate with anybody, that it would be such a difficult transition for me. However, when I did arrive in Beijing, I was met with a warm and friendly face by my manager and my centre supervisor. And then the culture shock was eased into transition. I didn't feel much of a culture shock. Obviously there is one. You go through, in my view, 3 stages. The initial stage is the honeymoon stage, where everything is new and bright and fresh. And then the frustration stage set in, where I couldn't understand much. However, I then proceeded to get Chinese lessons, and the transition was eased into it, and it became easier every single day. So teaching children in any country is the same effectively, because their brains are like sponges. They absorb information at an incredibly high rate. It's the very same in China. When I started teaching, we were provided with materials, excellent materials, and so much information that the children loved. We had PowerPoints, we have flashcards, and the children, once you build up a relationship with the children, and they like you and you like them, you get to see their strengths and their weaknesses, so they absorb information very, very quickly. No, you won't be in the classroom alone. There is a Chinese teaching assistant at all times in the classroom with you. This is vital for the children's learning and also for your progressiveness into teaching. If you ever get stuck, or if there's ever a misunderstanding of information provided to the children, the Chinese teaching assistant will swoop in and ensure that the students all understand the lesson that has been provided by yourself. At the end of every lesson, the Chinese teaching assistant will communicate with the children to ensure that they have understood the lesson, and then if there's any details that need to be cooperated or communicated with the parents, the teaching assistant can do that as well. So generally there are 6 to 12 students in each class in Aihua. This makes it more personal for the students, as the teacher can build up a very good relationship with each student. You get to see their strengths, their weaknesses, and once you get to know the children and they get familiar with your teaching style, it becomes more effectively easier to teach them, and they absorb the information a lot quicker. So for such a small group of students in the classroom, they get to play more games, they get more time with you. If they're stuck on a question, you get more time to answer, so it makes teaching a lot more easier. So in Beijing there are numerous amount of things to do. I personally enjoy playing sports, and the amount of sports here are endless. I play football, I play soccer, badminton, and then if you want to just even walk around Beijing, there are so many things to do. There are temples. I've personally gone to the Great Wall of China, which was an amazing day out. But if you're into social life, there's a massive social scene. You'll always make new friends here. There are so many foreigners in Beijing that it makes the transition easier, just to meet people on a night out or meet people going for dinner. And of course the dinners are, wow, the dinners are amazing. Back in Ireland, when I was eating the food there, the Chinese food, I had an idea of what the Chinese food would be like here, but when I got here, the flavours just blew my mind. So sharing an apartment with another teacher is fun. It's crucial, I believe, actually, because you make a bond. You get a bond with your roommate, with your housemate. My housemate and I, we bounce off each other if there's ever any difficulties with lesson plans or with anything to do with the teaching materials. We bounce off each other, and also we go out with each other. We spend time with each other, and it's very good for company as well, because when you come to a country like China, the last thing you want is to be on your own in an apartment and wondering what to do. So when there's another person in the room, in the house with you, you can bounce off each other, and it makes the transition a lot easier. So travelling around China is probably the easiest aspect of China, to be honest. The public transport here is second to none. There are bullet trains, high-speed bullet trains that can bring you from Beijing to Shanghai in 4 hours, which is incredible. Very reasonable prices, very easy to access. All the apps that you can get on your phone to book them are in English. You can pay through WeChat, which is another advantage of coming to China, because WeChat is incredible. And personally, I think China is one of the safest countries in the world. Since I'm here, I have not seen one bit of crime. Everybody smiles, everybody is nice, but travelling around China is so much easier. I personally have gone to Inner Mongolia, which was an incredible experience. I wrestled with an Inner Mongolian man, which if you do come over here, I'll show you the video. So travelling around China is excellent and so easy. So for me personally, the best part of living and working in Beijing is experiencing a different culture. The teaching aspect is incredible. You gain so much experience from that. The children are so cute, but also the opportunities that you can gain, the friends that you can make. I've made so many numerous friends since I've got here, friends that I will have for life. But also learning Chinese. I would give Chinese lessons for free. They provide them for free for me, for all teachers at Aihua. And this is crucial when you're actually going out onto the streets. So if you want to ask for your favourite pizza, you're not asking them in English, so you make sure you don't get mushrooms if you don't like mushrooms, because that's my thing. But yeah, there's so much to do in Beijing. There's so much fun and activities to do, so many people to meet, and just joining a culture that is vastly different from your own will enhance your overall skill set.